All right.
Oh, we're on.
What's up, guys? We are live.
Hi.
What's going on? I told you guys, I'm trying to do this YouTube thing, man. You need to subscribe to my channel. It's like I'm trying to get this message out to everybody. So we have Andrea today, and our special guest, Carrie Thomas, is with us. And like I said, I told you, Carrie is famous for her TEDx talk. So we got a TEDx person in the house. So today, I've been really trying to get people, because nowadays a lot of people want change, and I always tell everybody change is hard, because when you start changing things around you, people and things, they don't really like it. They don't know what you're doing, and you're trying to get these goals, and there will be distractions. So the topic of today is, the lifestyle
design.
Lifestyle design.
And dealing with overwhelm when you're trying to design your lifestyle, your new lifestyle.
Yeah. So lifestyle design, just to give you guys, it's basically when you dress up, what type of event you're going to. The same thing with lifestyle. It's what type of lifestyle you want to live, and you have to dress up your surroundings of who you want to be and where you want to go. And with Carrie, what is when you have your TEDx, what is your main topic when you're talking to people?
So my main topic was how clutter is not just stuff, how we all have mental clutter, emotional clutter, spiritual clutter, and how the overwhelm that Andrea mentioned is a very huge reason and a huge part of that, and what to do about it. And so in my talk, I talked about how making change is the result of action, and action is the result of a decision. And so I tied that all together.
And that's what you said, a word that I really have to, that's when I get involved with people, action. Mm-hmm. That's one thing, man, you guys, the action part, it's like you have to take action. And when you get in the game and when you take action, it becomes easy. But before action, it's that's my job, and that's one of the hardest thing to do, is to get you started into your program, me getting people there to it, and then we take it from there. The easy part is in action, is getting you to the action.
One of the things that I'll hit on too is that a lot of times when people come to us, we have different angles for change and transformation. Jeannie's here too. She's behind the camera. Hi. Jeannie with Eating to Excel. We all have our different specialties, and people come to us for different reasons. People come to Carrie and me mostly for organization and productivity. They come to Demetrius they think they're coming to Demetrius for fitness and exercise and working out. It's so much more. And then they come to Jeannie for, again, they think they're coming to Jeannie for a diet plan or meal plan, but what they don't realize is they actually need all of those packaged together, and that we all cross over each other. Mm-hmm. We have clients at DFIT that come and start working out, and next thing you know, you guys know who you are if you're watching, they're cleaning out their closet. They're clearing off their kitchen counter. They're decluttering their car, whether we talked about it or not. Carrie, do you have people that you've worked with for organization that then want more of these other things that we talk about?
Yes, it happens all the time. Either we start organizing and then they ask about, well, what do you know, or who do you know as far as a fitness or a life coach or things like that, like to get me where I want to go, or we can't start the organizing until they address those things. So I get it on both ends, people asking me questions about it on both ends. And I do deal with what I can, and I've gained, I'm not certified in any of those areas, but I've gained knowledge over the years and a lot of experience and talked to a lot of people, and then I refer out when they need an actual
to the other expert.
Yes, an expert in another area. Yep.
And then I think it's the same thing with Jeannie when she works with someone that wants you want to help them create a meal plan and start getting in the habit of prepping meals every week, but their sink is full of dishes and their counters are covered, and so maybe they need a productive environment day.
Pantry full of crap.
In their she said pantry full of crap. Yes, maybe they need a productive environment day, which is a service that is offered to help people just declutter their kitchen. And then Barbara Hemphill says that her father said half of any job is having the right tools. So when you're trying to meal prep, you need your containers, you need the certain things you want to cook with, and so on. So when I said, I was joking because I said people come to Demetrius thinking that it's because they want to get in shape, or they want to work out, they want to exercise. They really don't want to work out, they don't want to exercise, they don't want to eat right, but they want a transformation. So
they want to look like they do those things.
That's right. I can relate. So yeah, can we just join DFIT and then just boom, it happens?
Magic.
So, but what we realize after doing this for so long now is that it truly takes, we call it the transformation trifecta: the productivity, the fitness and exercise and movement, whatever that is for you. It doesn't mean spending 3 hours a day in the gym 7 days a week like Demetrius. You don't have to do that. And then the healthy living, the healthy lifestyle, and then all of those things need routines and systems. Drinking water.
And I think, like we talked about this morning, we talked about focusing down on what's most important and why. Because what happens is, like, you ask anyone you know, how are you? How you doing?
Fine.
And what's the other thing here? Oh, busy.
Oh yeah,
I'm so busy. I'm so busy. And we wear that busy like a badge of honor. I mean, we think like unless we complain about our busyness that we don't seem productive and worthy and like a functioning member of society, but it's really not a badge of honor. And so narrowing down what's important before you start addressing any of these areas is also key. Why are we busy? Why are we keeping ourselves busy with things that aren't important?
Right. Which actually brings you back to step 1 of the productive environment process, which is identify or state your vision. Because what is it that you truly, if you can clear the clutter enough to sit down, whether it's clearing the physical clutter on your counter or the table or your mind, but clear the clutter enough to say, what do I really freaking want? Sorry, but what do I want? What do I want? And then the step 2 is, what are the obstacles? What's keeping me from getting that? And if this activity and this activity and this and obligation and all these things are keeping you from what you truly want, then you become overwhelmed. But you won't know that until you really take the time to step back and say, what do I want?
And we can't measure that. And that's one thing. We can't measure one thing is what is more important to you. We can't make that decision for you. So you have to measure what's more important to you to get you to that goal and, be have a successful family or whatever.
So I have a question. So somebody comes to you, to us, to the group and says, I want to change my life. I want to get in shape. I want to clean my house. I want to start a business, or I want to continue a business. They come to us and they say, what should I do first? What is your response, Carrie?
I think it all goes back to the vision, to that 5-step process, because whatever thing they state, their vision might include 4 things, but whatever comes out first is probably the most important. And then, there's different theories. Some people think starting with the hardest thing first, because then you feel that sense of accomplishment and you can move forward. Other people, the way they're wired, they need to start with the easy thing first.
So they have success.
Then they have success. So I think in talking with a client and in having them state their vision and going through the steps, that is going to come out in the conversation and become evident.
And then that actually, step 3 is commit your resources. Okay, so you've got your vision, you've identified your obstacles, what's keeping you from accomplishing that, and then commit your resources, whether that's time. It's probably going to be time. Everything we do takes time. Energy, money, support. Who's your support system? Do you have a team that can help you? Do you have a home team?
A friend.
A friend
that can help you. Yep.
Exactly. That's all.
I have clients that have had great success sort of enlisting a buddy and having that accountability.
Well, that's life designing. You're putting somebody, because if you're surrounded by people or things that aren't for your goal setting, it probably won't work. That's life design too. Yeah.
Well, and then the step 4 is what we're talking about. That's where a team of people, or like you said, a friend, a family member can sit down with you, and that's step 4 is create and execute your plan. So what is the plan to accomplish this vision? What steps do we need to take? And you've got to have somebody that can help you identify where to start. And there is no right place to start. Some people need to start immediately or want to start immediately with cleaning up their diet. So they might start with Jeannie, or working with, going shopping and changing things there. They might want to, I can't do anything until I clear off my desk and fix my paper stuff. Well, then they might start there. So it doesn't really matter But like you said, when you have that conversation and you kind of determine, okay, this is where I want to start. This is my game plan, and then you create and you execute that plan, and then all the other ones come along.
Yeah.
The other ones come along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And step 5,
Yes.
sustain your success. And sadly, that's where a lot of
fail.
a lot of people fail. A lot of resolutions, so to speak, fail.
Yes.
Is in step 5, and not having a plan for sustaining your success.
Right. And I think it really truly does come back to the vision, because we get weary in well-doing. We might have some success and get some accolades and, oh my gosh, you look great, or oh my gosh, your space looks awesome, or your business is booming. You get those accolades, and then you really maybe need to revisit that vision. Did you accomplish what you wanted? Do you need to revisit it and change it so that you keep going? Otherwise, we've seen it time and time again, you backslide. You go right back to those old habits, those old friends, those old
How often
ways.
do you in DFIT have people revisit their goals or their vision?
Oh,
I've never asked you that.
Good question.
that's a good
That's
question.
a really good question.
Usually when they fail, we'll revisit pictures. That's why the pictures are so important. I'll put down notes that they told me when they first joined DFIT. I do a lot of recording from my phone. I put everything that they told me, and we revisit depending on the person. Some people in the beginning, it feels like they don't even want a transformation. Then they get excited. Then there's some people that that come in complaining. So it's everybody's different, and that's why DFIT works, because I've learned to work with people. For the past 10 years, I studied people, not fitness. I know fitness. I know life.
And we have learned, and it is a different time. We don't, in fact, he doesn't do anything by week 1, we do this, and week 2, we do this. It's more like phase 1. And phase 1 for you might be quicker than phase 1 for somebody else. And so it's based on the person. But also, because we've experienced this so much, we can start seeing patterns with people.
Right.
And we bring them in and say, okay, remember you wanted this. And the patterns may be good patterns. Like, okay, you're moving along, everything's going. Here's what we've seen as potential pitfalls for people who are doing really well and moving along.
So it's not really any different than what I do
Exactly.
with my clients
Yeah.
with systems or okay.
Exactly.
So usually,
Yeah, you're watching and okay.
usually I love it. My first point, our first milestone is when somebody fails. I love when they get sick or something happens in the house, and they'll say, D, my kid is sick, or D, I have to go to court. I'm like, great, this is it.
Yeah.
Let's get over this. And one of my superpowers is I put my mind and my body into next week over the event. The event is tomorrow, so I imagine myself, it's over with, it's next week, I'm living my life. And that's how I get over a lot of my, tough times, because the tough times are going to come. And when you get through that failure, it's easy to get on with whatever your goals are, because the failure's coming. You have to get over it and move on to the next, and you keep going. And that's what I tell everybody. When you fall, get back up. I love it when you fall. If you don't never fall, you don't know what it's like. And then one day when you fall, that you're going to be like, okay, what's going on? Because one of the wrestlers, Lex Luger, said he never lost, and that was his biggest failure. And that's why he got hooked on drugs, and all these other bad things came later on. He said, I never lost. I've never failed. So you have to fail to succeed.
Failing forward.
You have to, because it's part of the process. If you look up success, it's part of the process. Failure is one of the topics that you have to get over. So guys, I don't want to give them too much. We'll send them to all the websites. Carrie, did you have anything you want to say? Do you have anything coming up, or if you're doing anything special with your program, or?
I have a few things. You mentioned my TED Talk, my TEDx Talk, and I have coached some people on a complimentary basis, and I've had really good success, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly. So I'm starting to offer TEDx speaking coaching as part of my business, and just sort of part of my passion, really. And we have been talking about combining all of our skills, and so I'm really looking forward to brainstorming more about that. And yeah,
Okay, good.
I think that's
with,
it.
with the transformation trifecta.
Yes.
What do you want to wrap it up with?
Well, I just want to say, if you're watching this and there's anything you want to change in your life, again, if you see Demetrius, you automatically think, oh, he's talking about fitness and weight loss or bodybuilding. I don't really need all that, or that's all I want, or whatever. But really, when we start working together, no matter which angle you start with, they all flow together. And so that is something that we're working on. But you know what? Let's find out if you really are ready for transformation. We have a transformation readiness assessment, because a lot of people who say, oh, I need that, I want to do that, they're not really ready. They don't mean it. And so we want to find out. We want to see where you are with what we call the 7 daily disciplines. I won't go over them. You can see them on the assessment. But we want to see where you score yourself and be honest on those 7 daily disciplines. There's no judgment on those at all. But the last question on that assessment is the most important question. And how you answer that question determines how successful you're going to be. So I'm not going to say what it is, but go to DFITTransformation.com and you'll see a link there for assessment. It says take assessment, I believe. So click that link, fill out that assessment, and the four of us, Jeannie, Demetrius, myself, and Carrie, will review those assessments. And if we feel like we can help you, and if you answer that last question correctly, then we can work together.
Yeah, good. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up, and we'll be posting to all the other social medias later with this video. So click the link below, like my channel, subscribe. So later, guys. I love you.
Bye, guys.